evening on this fine Wednesday evening. What day it is, I really don't know. I'm Chris Winn, and welcome to Winn's World Podcast. Excellent. Tonight, we got a great guest, man, and I think you're going to be really, really stoked. I'm super pumped to talk to him. First thing is, man, we really don't try to talk about any kind of politics or religion. No bullshit. And if you are a armchair warrior and you have a fetish with keyboards, please get the fuck out of here. What up, Moody? Yeah, all's well, brother. How are you, bro? Anyways, what's up, Catherine? Hey, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody who's tuned in. This has really been a lot of fun for me. A lot of knowledge is coming my way. And even though I think I know it all, I really, really don't. What's up, Chesto? Jake, what's going on? So tonight, let's just get right to it, man. My guest this evening is the one and only Uncle Jeremy from Sullen. And let me just qualify a little bit of the reason that Uncle Jeremy is on this podcast, even though he's not a tattooer. But he's been affiliated with the business for so long. And the reason he's been affiliated with the business is that, he's been friends with his partner, Ryan Color Grimes, since they were 5. And yeah, and he's super handsome too, Mike. Yeah, totally. And so he has been in the business and done that whole thing. So, that's one of the reasons that, other than the fact that he's just one of my most solid friends, man, and we talk 2 or 3 times a day, or two or three times a day, 2 or 3 times a week. But there he is, man. What's up, brother? How are you, man?
Are you talking about me?
I was totally talking about you, bro. What do you think? Dude, I talk about you all the time, man.
I saw you started earlier. I'm like, should I go early?
Dude, you can go anytime you want, man. You know the relationship we have.
Thanks for having me on, Chris. How are you, man?
I am good, man. Today has been a bit of a struggle, man, having to deal without my telephone. You know what I mean? You never
How'd you do it?
Dude, I don't know, man. I think I did well. I don't know. But it's one of those things that you never realize. Even before I was coming on, I was just outside having a cigarette, and I was like, oh, what the fuck time it is? Oh, where's my phone? You know what I mean?
What'd you do? What'd you do with your phone?
Well, being the upstanding citizen that I am, okay, I went to the grocery store. I went by and picked up some art supplies, and I did all that stuff today. Went to the doctors, did all that stuff this morning. So I was out there and about. So, you know what I mean? You got to come home and you got to clean the groceries. You got to, clean yourself. So I basically, came in, unloaded the groceries, cleaned it all up with Maticide. Fuck those Clorox wipes. You know what I mean? So threw some Maticide down, came inside, dumped all my clothes on the floor, get in the fucking shower, get out of the shower, pick up the fucking clothes, throw them in the washing machine, start the washing machine, wash my hands. And I'm like, oh man, I forgot to send those pictures to Uncle Jeremy. You know what I mean? And I was like, I go, where's my phone, man? Where's my phone? So I call my phone and the washing machine starts ringing. And my chick's all, my chick's all like, oh my God, your phone's inside the washing machine. And I'm like, oh, this is just ridiculous, dude. You know what I mean? So not only insult to injury, you know what I mean? Just being old and just having too many things to do.
Was it an iPhone?
Yeah, it was an iPhone XS. And then you got to go through the whole thing, man, with, you got to call Verizon, and I'm of course I was on hold listening to that wonderful tune that Verizon.
I thought you were going to cancel on me. You told me that you were having phone issues. I was like, okay, he doesn't want to do it. No biggie.
Oh, no, dude. Dude, nothing ever stops me from doing anything. I will figure out a way. I'm still trying to figure out a way how to how to get out of this situation that we're in, but it's just to no avail. I'm just stuck at home painting, doing my thing. And at some points, man, I'm just really kind of enjoying it. I'm enjoying the fact that I get to talk to a bunch of great dudes about a bunch of great times.
I can't wait till you get them up on your YouTube channel because I missed a few. There's been some I've hopped on, but I was on your page and I'm like, oh shit, he had Robert. Oh shit, he had JoJo. I'm like, I gotta see these. Now, have you saved them? Are you able to archive them?
Now I can't.
I gotta wait for them to go to YouTube.
Now I can't archive them on video yet. Because
just for the day, you can.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, and there's been a couple of times that like my audio hasn't gone back through, and I was lucky that they saved them for 24 hours, and I was actually able to get the audio back, and record it the following day. But this whole thing has been just trial and error, and I'm such a moron when it comes down to technology. You know what I mean? If the lawnmower doesn't have a pull start, yeah.
I'm social savvy, except I don't go live. I haven't done much of this, So it's like someone was telling me that you could save the live in like your the favorites or the.
You can save. You can only save 15-minute clips of it, so there's really no point. You know what I mean? I love
it on YouTube, man.
Yeah, well, that's just it. And right now I'm trying to figure out exactly how. And you know what I mean? I've been talking to Vic. Thanks a lot for hooking me up with Vic. And so we've been talking about some of the different techniques, especially doing it remotely like I am. You know what I mean? And
sorry about that.
That's okay. But the remote thing is kind of tough because with a podcast, iTunes won't put it up unless the audio is just super crisp and clean. You know what I mean? But there will be some other platforms like Spotify will take it. And so there's this huge driving around all these obstacles. What up, JoJo? To get to where.
Yeah, JoJo.
Yeah, dude. JoJo, I love you too, buddy. But anyways, and let's just, since we're talking about the podcast, I would like to refresh some of the viewers on and how our relationship started. So, I
was following you before I met you.
Yeah. And I was following you before we met as well, and I was watching Sullen come up and watching how it was going, and I was watching all the progressions through the different years and stuff like that. And I saw it, and I was like, wow, man, these guys really they love tattooing, And then I started seeing all the posts with you guys, with Rick and all that stuff. And I was like, I go down and talk to Rick, and Rick's just like, oh, whoop, it's fine, solid, fucking, yeah, look, dude, whatever, And I was like, wow, man, you know what I mean? Like, I really, really, really want to meet these guys. Well, here comes a couple years later, or a year later, or whatever the case may be, man. And my dad in tattooing, who, just in case any of you don't know, is Rick Walters. I apprenticed under Rick Walters, and he got sick and shit started going south, and I really wanted to do something to help him, and I think we all did at that point. So I reached out to Jeremy about the possibility of doing a podcast with Rick and a couple of his apprentices. And at that point, Jeremy's all like, that's not the way to go.
No, you wanted to print some shirts.
Well, and we wanted it. We were going to do a shirt too, you know what I mean, or whatever, but we were
because I know Robert Atkinson, you guys are on the same page. We started our podcast, and I invited Robert and JoJo to be some of our first guests, and I feel okay saying this now. I wouldn't have said it back then, but Robert's like, "Hey, listen, Rick's not doing so hot. You should get Rick on there.
Yeah,
let's let Rick tell some stories,
right?
Because like you, Rick and I had a really great relationship I haven't known him as long as you, but over the last 10 or 15 years, you know, he was really close to me. We had a really good bond. But Robert's like, let's get Rick on there, let him tell some stories just in case anything happens. And
Robert,
and then,
I love that guy.
You called me. You're like, hey, you know, Rick's health isn't getting better. You know, you think we could, you know, maybe print some shirts or something? And I told you, I said, yeah, we can. But in the past, it just hasn't raised a ton of money. You know, I mean, whenever we do charity shirts, like, sure, you'll sell, you know, the first week, but a lot of times I don't know,
sit,
becomes old news and they sit. Yeah.
Right. I get it. So anyways, we started a conversation about this, and I went down to Sullen, and we were talking, and we, you know, Jeremy really was the force behind the whole art show that we did for Rick, and suggested that, and it was just such a great idea, and it just facilitated the whole thing, and we couldn't even believe how many paintings we got in that thing, man. I mean, we got 229 or 232?
Is that what it was?
232, and I think we only didn't sell, I think that like 4 didn't sell.
Yeah. Well, I always say it, man. I got that idea from Opie Ortiz. You know, we got into curating a good amount of art shows. We were curating, you know, the Ink and Iron art show for the last 6 or 7 years, and you'd have 40 pieces of art and only 4 of them would sell because a lot of them were expensive. And it was frustrating that you put all this work into it. And it wasn't about the money, of course.
Yeah.
But when you put all this work into it and a lot of it's not selling, and Opie's like, you want to see every piece sell? Do a $100 max art show and watch them all sell. And we tried it, and it was with another friend of ours whose son was dying of cancer. And sure enough, we had 150 donated pieces of art, and I think like 140 of them sold.
Right.
You know, that's just money right there. Then you can just hand it over cash.
Scott.
So, yeah, and then for Rick, we were like, okay, instead of 100, we'll double it, make it a $200 max. But so many of your guys' followers and fans, they finally get a piece of art from you guys, and it's an original that they get to hang on the wall. You know, you get some OGs or some legends out there. You know, they do a pencil sketch on a napkin and frame that bad boy. Someone's gonna buy it for $100.
Yeah. Know? Yeah, some people got some really smoking deals that night, and dude, and I know guys that bought 3 or 4 paintings. You know, they were just.
Well, what happens is, you know, a lot of you guys, once you commit to it, you end up creating little masterpieces. So you walk in there, and there's originals from big names. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like.
That was such it was such a.
And then remember, we went down to Rick's shop to ask him for his blessing.
Well, that was the other thing, man, that was really crazy about, you know, so, you know, we're like, we have to go down and ask Rick, man, if it's cool to do this whole thing. So we rolled down there, and, you know, not knowing how Rick was going to react to it, you know what I mean? And
never forget it.
Yeah, dude, and it was probably one of the most special fucking times. And dude, and like literally, so I hadn't been tattooed by Rick in probably, well, since he did my Burt Grimm's tattoo on my hand. That was the one that he just did. This is the Burt Grimm's one. And if anybody knows what this is, man, it's Anchor, it says Burt Grimm's, and has the years that you were there. And then, then I had this little tattoo machine that was done by a friend of mine. And I was like, you know, Rick, I just want you to put, RW19 on there. And he was like, oh, I'm not fucking tattooing you. And I was like, oh, come on, dude. Do you remember that shit? He was like just fucking pulling my chain, man. And I walked outside to have a smoke, and dude, what does he do? He sets up. He's like, yeah, he fucking sets up, and he's like, what the fuck did you want? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, oh, I just want an RW19, and he's got one fucking machine out, one cap of ink, and a little blob of A&D, and dude, he's like, sit down, dude. And he grabs my hand, and I was like, what? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm no gloving it either, brother. We're just old school in it. And I'm like, oh, Jeremy, take my phone. And you know what I mean? Like, dude, you got to film this. And he's like, don't you fucking post it. I'll fucking shoot you. He goes to start reaching for his gun. And I'm like, oh, don't worry, dude. It's just for me. And he did that, and God, that was just such, it was such a moment in my life. Oh, yeah, you got yours? Just take your pants off, dude. It'll be fine.
I think it's new at this. Where's it at? Oh, wait, here it is. The rooster, is that it?
Yeah. Got it.
Anyways, yeah, he gave me a rooster on my knee, so you can have cock jokes for days.
Yeah, totally, man. And you know what, man? That's one of the things about Rick is that, when I was talking to Mike Godfrey the other night, we were talking about him coming down to HB Tattoo and just hanging out, and they'd go eat, chili cheeseburgers at Tommy's and just hang out. And we started talking.
Hold on a second. We got some of our boys talking shit on here.
Dude, who's talking shit?
Dick, I ain't stripping. Kick back, Justin. Sorry, dude.
But anyways, so we started talking about that, and one of the things that I was always tripped out about Rick is I was like, when was he ever home? Because he was always like, if he wasn't at Shamrock, man, he was at HB Tattoo, and if he wasn't at HB, he was over, you know what I mean, at American Opie Shop, or before obviously Rick Walters World Famous was open up, and then he was just there all the time, man, and it was just, he was always at a tattoo shop or second floor with Kevin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when we used to throw a lot more parties, some of my friends that flaked or whatever didn't show up, I always used to reference Rick. I'm like, Rick was there and you weren't there. Or if they snuck out early, I'm like, dude, Rick stayed longer than you.
Yeah, totally.
Rick, he came to so many of our parties, so many of our events. Of course, he's been sober for years, but there were so many events where he'd be the first one to show up and one of the last ones to leave. And he hung out and had a great time all night.
Oh, yeah. And that was one of the one of the reasons that, I came to you and wanted to do something, and you telling me about that people had been thinking about it, and Robert had been, blah, blah, blah. And it was just so apropos. I love the fact that Rick was like, okay, man, you know what I mean? I'm going to give in right now and go ahead and let you guys do that.
You saw the look in his eyes when we asked him.
Dude, he almost cried, bro. That was crazy.
We just want his blessing. We just told him, like, listen, because we weren't trying to make it a big deal. We're just like, listen, we want to throw an art show. We want to raise some money for you just to make your life a little bit easier. We didn't say you need it or assume he needed it or anything like that. We're like, we just want to make your life a little bit easier right now to help you with your health. Because if you're stressed out, your health's going to go downhill. So
yeah, totally.
And he sat there and he looked at both of us, and you saw, kind of tears in his eyes, and he was like, yeah, man, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And,
that's right. He's like, that'd be cool. Yeah,
it's like, game on.
So that's when we knew. And from that point on, we started working very closely together throughout the whole thing, not knowing that 2.5, 3 weeks later, Rick would pass, and then it became a memorial art show, you know what I mean? And then it took on a whole new set of issues and and thank God for, Big Gus came up, man. Yeah, we're going to do it here, man. And Beach Grease, James over at Beach Grease, man, was like, oh yeah, we'll make him a beer, and I was printing t-shirts in my best friend's garage, man, and doing whatever. And the art just kept coming. And I remember I would come over every like Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, man, and we would just go through art, and I'd be like, oh, damn. And
it turned into something else. And you and I, that's when we became close, because what was cool was that you and I put this on together.
Right.
But you were hands-on all day, every day. You were taking days off, or you're just like, listen, I can come down this day, and this day.
Yeah.
And the two of us would just be sitting there unwrapping art all day long, writing the names down, keeping it organized. And so many people came through, so many machine builders,
Oh, yeah. Tim Hendricks. Oh,
giving away, I think he did 2 originals, a machine, and he gave away a free tattoo. Like,
Yeah.
But, he has a history with Rick as well.
Yeah,
So
well,
people came through.
And that was one of the great things about how many people came through for Rick.
Yeah.
And Robin and the shop. And
we say it over and over again. We wanted to have a special night and to make money for Rick and hand that money over to him. We wanted, you guys out there watching, pull it up on our YouTube channel. It was a special night. You know?
Yeah.
Rick, we didn't get to hand it to Rick, but we were able to hand over $30,000 to Robin.
Yeah.
And that felt good.
Yeah, it did, man. And, that's one of the things that, through this whole thing, and even before that, I just noticed how Sullen participated in tattooing. There's been many, many other companies that have tried to, get tattoo art on merchandise and get it out there and really try to push their own thing. But you guys have always pushed the art. I mean, art driven, for God's sakes, is your guys' motto. And, and Ryan being, right there in the whole mix of things and just working as, you guys both have your places in Sullen, but, people don't know. You guys have been friends since you were, 5?
Yeah, we went to grammar school together, but we weren't, really tight. But I think he was on a Little League team with me. And then his parents moved him out to Arizona, I think 7th grade. We didn't get reacquainted till our senior year in high school.
Yeah.
And then I moved out to Arizona with him after high school, just because a lot of my friends were starting to get into, trouble and drugs. And I had a crazy ex-girlfriend I wanted to get away with. So Ryan's like, dude, move out to Arizona.
Word.
And Arizona is the shit, man. Like, I remember I'd go out there and visit him, and everyone was just so cool, like Southern California. You go to, like, a house party, because we're young. We're, like, 18.
Right.
You go to a house party, and the guy's like, what's up, man? What's your name? Here's a cup for the cake. Cake's right over there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't used to that, like, everyone was super nice. Whereas if someone came to our house party, they're like, who are you? Where are you from? Why are you here? Kind of a thing.
Yeah. You either give us $5 for a cup or you get your ass beat. Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. So I was digging it, and I moved out there with him. But, a lot of
what
people.
Up, Ben?
For those that don't know, I'm not a tattooer, but my business partner is. Ryan's been tattooing for like 23 years, and I've been, getting tattooed for 23 years, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes me,
Oh, man, without a doubt, man, you're part of tattooing. You have cemented that in, Sullen is worldwide.
I'm very passionate about it, that's for sure. I love getting tattooed, and
I know.
I'm definitely running out of space.
Yeah.
But Ryan's the shit, Ryan can hang with the best of them in drawing, painting, tattooing.
Oh, without a doubt, he's a badass.
Yeah, and he's a creative motherfucker and thinks outside of the box, and is also very business savvy. Like, he handles and runs all the behind the scenes stuff, and I'm lucky enough to get to run around the country and handle our marketing and events and PR and social and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do. We make a good team. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, man, and I thank you guys for supporting tattooing the way you have, and how many artists that you have supported over the years, and how the platform of Sullen has brought tattooing to the forefront. You're walking around Disneyland, and man, much love always, Mike. But you're walking through Disneyland, man. I was walking in Japan, man, and there was 3 guys, in one day that were all wearing Sullen.
That's
and
I know if I go to Disneyland or something, me and my family, we try to see who can find the most Sullen shirts. But when there's a day I don't see one, man, it bums me out.
Yeah.
Mike Godfrey's on here. What up, Mike?
Dude, there's another one right there, man. Thomas Pendleton, one of my brothers, man. He apprenticed right after I did. As a matter of fact, I have his first tattoo with a real tattoo machine. And hi, Dee Dee, what's up, girl? But dude, you're a lucky guy, dude. You're a lucky guy. But anyways, Thomas Pendleton, who's up on the islands in Washington, he just says, I own a Sullen t-shirt. Rick gave it to me and it's used. So Rick was like,
Thomas said that?
Thomas said that, yeah, dude. I've been trying to get Thomas on this thing because like Thomas is he's my brother, dude. I mean, we talk like 3 or 4 times a week. He sends me the most fucked up shit on like text messages and shit, and then the raddest shit, but that guy,
what up, Joseph?
That guy
he says I own a Sullen shirt.
Totally.
Rick gave it to me.
Totally.
I would love to have heard the conversation. Like, here's a shirt. My friends own it.
Yeah, totally, man. Well, that's how I got my first Sullen t-shirt.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Rick gave it to me. And it didn't fit me. Because I was like a triple extra large, man. He's like, oh, here's a 2X. This one doesn't fit me, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, well, it ain't gonna fit me either, bro. So whatever. But Thomas Pendleton, and a lot of people don't really realize who he is, but he is really the guy who first started the phenomenon of getting tattooing on television.
Yeah, he's tattooed a lot of my friends. I know he's made his way around Orange County.
Oh yeah, well he was making his way around Orange County for a hot minute.
Yeah,
but he had the show. He had the show Inked at Hart and Huntington. That was his show, Tattoo Highway, in the bus with Thomas Morgan and Rick's daughter. So. He's got such a great, I mean, he's a real historian, man. Dude, he's all like he's a fag. I know, that's why he's my brother, dude. Told you the other day, man, that we're all fags, really, when it comes right down to it. We just don't like to make out. So anyways, but the thing about it is that, like, what came out of Burt Grimm's, I mean, if the question is really what came out of Burt Grimm's? What came out of Burt Grimm's was friendship, brotherhood, love, talent, camaraderie, man, respect, that whole thing. And that's the stuff that, that Rick taught us, and dude, he brought me you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and dude, I love you as the day is fucking long, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't care if you were a pipe fitter or a fucking whatever. You know what I mean? As long as I would have gotten to meet you, we would have been friends. And that was such a blessing to me to be introduced to you and Ryan and the team and throughout that whole thing and everybody that came together for that whole thing, man. And I mean, it was just such a blessing, man. It was such a blessing. And like Thomas said right there, it's a legacy, man. Burt Grimm's is a legacy.
Yeah. Thomas, your piece that you contributed to, man, that thing was incredible. Yeah,
I bought it.
I loved it.
I bought it.
Piece that he sent us.
I bought it. I promised him that I would buy it.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, because Thomas loves Thomas paints because he has to. He doesn't paint because he wants to. He paints because he has to. And there are artists out there that do that shit because they have to, man. He does it because he has to. He doesn't, it doesn't sit well, man. If there's a blank piece of paper in front of him, he'll draw on it, and turn it into something, man, and so, and that's kind of what really brought, brings us together, man. You know what I mean? As a family. It's a tattoo family. That's one of the, it really upsets me, and I'm sorry that I kind of got on my soapbox for a minute here, but it upsets me, man, that there is this competition that goes on, and that it's totally unfounded. Because do you think fucking Picasso gave a fuck what Michelangelo did? No. You know what I mean? He was a fucking artist, man, and he went out there and he painted his ass off, man. And that's what we're all supposed to be doing, man. We're supposed to be all like, man, oh, did you see that piece? Like, I've been dying to talk to Robert, and he's been super busy because, first of all, like I post this chest panel on my best friend, and then the next morning there's a chest panel, the same angle and everything, and it was almost like Robert was like, oh, no, Chris, this is how you do a chest panel. You know what I mean? And I know that wasn't it, but you know what I mean? I laughed in the morning. I was like, I was hoping that was it. You know what I mean? But because of the fact that we're friends, but there's that commonality, man, between us, that we all do the same things. There doesn't need to be any kind of fucking bullshit. Nobody needs to be talking shit. You know what I mean? Shit talking. Yeah, shit talking is it's just bullshit. And I really hope that through this whole thing, all that stuff ends. I know it won't, but I can.
Yeah, I think that's just different personalities,
Yeah. And different
Some people, the glass is half empty. Some people, the glass is half full. And I think, like I always tell people, some people you hit it off with and some people you don't.
Yeah.
And you and I hit it off. When we were putting that show together for Rick, we spent hours and hours and hours together. And at the end of it all, I got myself a new brother,
Yeah, and it was crazy because of that. We went out to lunch that day, and I start throwing this idea at you, and you're like, oh, dude, you should. And I was like, so I threw, because you want to talk to your brothers and see what they think about it. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, I want to do a podcast where I just talk to old guys, man. You know what I mean? Old guys that have been in the business for more than a decade or two, and find out what they're going on. Because we all know that the podcasts that are out there, and they're all getting the hip clue, who's tattooing this basketball player or this rapper or whatever. We all know those stories, but it's all the guys that were behind those guys that we didn't know. So, and then you were just like, oh, we'll do it. And then for the next year, you were like, oh, are you going to do it? Are you going to, you know what I mean? So
I told you you'd be great at it. Don't stop. What do you think tattooing is going to be like after all this? I don't know if it's ever going to be over, but
yeah,
what effect do you think it's going to have?
I think that.
Have you had this conversation many times over the last couple of weeks on here?
Yeah, well, I haven't had it as much because, we really haven't been really talking about. Let me just rephrase that. I think we all thought that this was going to be a couple of month thing, and then we were all going to get back into it. You know what I mean? And then it would just be we'd be good. But I was talking to my buddy, Jeremy Korn. Texted me today, and messaged me and was talking about what was going on in Spokane, and they're going to be out a while. We're looking here at stage 3, and we can keep our fingers crossed that. We were keeping our fingers crossed in April that it was going to be May 15th, and then May 15th turned into June 1st. And then June 1st turns into possibly you might get to do it in July, So it's going to be really interesting to see who doesn't go get a job at Trader Joe's as a bagger, or go back to construction, or go back to whatever it was. Not that I haven't had those thoughts or had those conversations with a few people.
Yeah. Gotta survive.
Yeah, you gotta survive, man. And that's the thing. What do I think it's going to look like? That remains to be seen. We've never been through anything like this. And in 1918, I'm sure that there were a lot of people that were like, wow, man, what's this going to look like on the other side? We've never been through this. World War One, World War Two, you know what I mean? Vietnam. I mean, the Twin Towers, all that stuff, man. We have been, as a country, and I think we're 273 years old or something like that. I'm not sure of the statistics, so don't quote me on that. But for such a young country, we've been through quite a bit. A civil war, torn in half right down the middle. So I can't really say what it looks like. I have a lot of ideas what it might look like for me, but everybody's different, and I'm not even ready to speculate on what it's going to look like for me. But I'm not going to stop tattooing.
Who knows? Maybe it'll weed out some of the people that shouldn't have been involved in the first place.
Well, that's one of the things that I've had that conversation with quite a few people at this time.
Will everyone have to wear a mask from now on?
Yeah, well, I mean, in Japan, man, after SARS and stuff.
A lot of people already were kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know, Godfrey, you'll be tattooing. I'll probably be next to you. But anyways, pulling beers out of your 12-pack. But because he smokes in his shop. I don't know, you didn't see that, but.
And then Joseph Hess says, I think it'll bring back some of that magic back, that underground, and it will be more valuable and more cherished and more in demand. I like that.
Well, and that's one of the things that I can hope for. And they say timing is everything. So me starting this thing up was really about getting people familiar with what tattooing is, and whether or not it changes, two young guys or whatever, if as long as it gets out there and it's heard, even if, a guy who's been tattooing 4 or 5 years, man, he might not care for 10, but you know what I mean? At 10, when he's like wondering where all of his clientele is gone and whatever, and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to sit down and watch some YouTube, and what is this? You know what I mean? No, just, and hopefully that some of us older guys can lend a little bit of wisdom to, what it is. Because, I know I've starved through like 8 winters. I used to tattoo in Pacific Beach, San Diego for years. Winters got cold. They got lonely. So...
Yeah, you're a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, I also remember, man, being out in 29 Palms, working for Catfish and working for Tilly Todd out there, man, when Todd was sick and just getting ready to pass, or just passed. And the guys would go out in the field, and they'd be out in the field for 6 weeks, or they'd be on deployment, man, and it was just a ghost town, man. It was a ghost town. Tumbleweeds literally rolling through town. I remember those days. Yeah. So I think that it'll weed out the guys who love it, who when you walk in their house, it looks like a tattoo artist lives there. Their chicks tattooed. They're, you know what I mean? They're dog's a badass and whatever. I think those people are, they're always going to be into it. You and I, like, literally, man. I mean, Dee Dee loves tattooing. You know what I mean? She loves what you do. It smells like weed. Robert, it smells like weed. It smells like teen spirit, bro. That's what it smells like, Robert.
That's because Robert just tuned in. That's why it smells like weed.
Is that why it smells like weed? Dude, man, you gotta be careful with that shit.
What's up,
man.
Atkinson?
Hey, what up, bro? How are you, man? You never called me today, by the way. Oh, and there's Dee Dee, just like, I'm not scared. You know what I mean? Like, I love that about her. And the best part about even being your friend is now, man, I'm friends with Dee Dee, dude. You know what I mean? And like, I'm, my chick sent some stuff to your daughter. You know what I mean? And oh, we're talking about weed them out. We're not talking about weed. Oh, you said you're gonna weed them out. Sorry, bro. We got
weed them out, Robert.
Weed them out, bro. Weed them out. But yeah, man, and and I think that, and I will stand by this as long as I can. If I was going to build a house, I wouldn't let somebody who just got his contractor's license do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money letting some kid trial and error on me. So let's just hope that happens. You know what I mean? And
laughing at Rob.
I know, dude. Let's run to Robert.
I did shower before I got on. I smell fresh. These guys are making me. Well, hey, let's move it to a positive conversation. You know, like fuck this COVID shit.
Yeah, totally.
Who's been your favorite guest so far?
You know what, man? Literally, my favorite guest
is Robert Atkinson and Mike Godfrey, because they're both on here right now.
Well, no, you know what, man? I'll tell you this. I have to say that I really couldn't even say that I had a favorite at this point, because like I learned so much from doing JoJo's, like me and JoJo talking, that it was just natural, man, that like Robert came right behind him, and then, you know what I mean, it was just Godfrey came right after that, you know, and it was just a natural progression. And dude, I'll fly down there right now if not. Let me just say something, Mike. And I have had more. I've had more comments, man, about people absolutely loving where it was you're coming from. You know, it's always the quiet guy, man. When, you know what I mean, when the quiet guy speaks, man, it just kind of, you know, rings, you know. And you know, I've had a lot of people that had commented about the great conversation that Robert and I had. And talk faster, Chris. Dude, I quit doing meth the other day, dude. I'm not messing around, dude. Swear to God. And JoJo, man. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's
makes me laugh,
dude. I love him, man. I really wanted to talk to him today, and I told him to call me, and he's like, oh yeah, totally, dude. Totally. Talk faster, Chris. So anyways, so there was this one time where, you know, but anyways, so on a different, let's get on a different note, man. And I got to thank you for kind of pushing me, right, to do this, you know, because this is really, and if I had to say who was responsible for this, it was you, JoJo, Robert, and Godfrey, man, because y'all, man, just
those are some of my favorite people,
dude.
Right there.
Dude, I'm just telling you, man. Like every morning when I wake up, those are the guys I want to talk to, you know. And JoJo's probably like, oh my God, it's Chris again, you know what I mean? Like, you know, or whatever. But
She looks like Robert. Knock it off.
Let's hear about his workout.
Let's keep it professional.
Let's keep it professional, dude. Man, we don't want to talk about what happens in that special place. But I have to say, man, that those three, you know what I mean, and this one included, man. You know, I was really excited to get you on. I was really excited, and
thanks for having me.
Yeah, and
I've been excited too,
dude. And it's just this, you know, because, well, first of all, that we're such good friends, you know what I mean? And we talk, you know, at least once a week, man, if not twice, you know, or whatever.
I told you today on the phone, I'm like, let's get off the phone.
Dude, I know.
We're sitting there talking each other's ear off. I'm like, quit it.
I know.
We're talking too much.
I know, but you did have some great points, and I'm taking that into consideration. So, but anyways, so what do you think? Let me just turn the tables around. What do you think tattooing is going to look like after this? I'm sure that you've had more than one conversation about this.
I mean, once again, man, I mean, I don't know. I might just try to keep it positive. I just, I don't know. As I get older, I'm just trying to breathe through shit. I'm not letting things, I'm not trying to let anything bring me down anymore. You know, like we've survived so many things, like you said, whether it's the winters or Twin Towers or 08, 09 market crash. Like, we've survived so many things. I'm just like, ain't nothing gonna kill me, you know. I mean, I can't say that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm sick of being stressed, and you already know the more you stress, you're taking days off your life. So it's just
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Take it on the chin and work through it, you know. And luckily, I mean, of course, when all this first happened, everyone got really scared and spooked, and you know, it's the end of the world type shit, and you're wondering what's going to happen. But you know, luckily, I don't know if it's because everyone's at home, but we've been doing all right, man. Sales have been okay, and we're doing a lot better than we thought we were.
Yeah, and, you know, and that's one of the things that's been great too, is the fact that, like, the artwork that's fucking coming out right now is just fucking unreal. Makes me want to quit painting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ryan's trying to work something out where we can have like a section on our site where we can help all of our friends sell their art.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Site.
That was rad. That's rad.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that Sullen is the greatest tattoo brand company in the fucking world, is because Ryan is doing shit like that. You know what I mean? You guys are fucking facilitating that. You guys are taking care of fucking Rick. You guys are taking care of whatever needs to be taken care of. And it says it just says so much about what you are. Dude, that's why I fucking wear your shit. That's why I sneak in there and buy shit when you're not there. You know what I mean? That's why dude.
Like, what are you doing, man?
I know, dude. Yeah. Whatever, dude. I'm gonna do it, dude. I fucking.
love you for it. I know. That's a real friend right there.
Yeah. But the fact is that, like, dude, I support who supports.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Mike.
Dude.
There's some positivity going on.
Yeah, dude. And that, you know what I mean? Like, and those guys are.
Joseph's taking it on the chin.
Dude, yeah. Well, you know, but I'll tell you what, man, is I am so fucking grateful to have those three guys in my life at this point right now, because it's, you know, dude, I got to say, man, you know, with Thomas calling me and Jeremy Korn calling me and, you know, Six calling me and all that shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, it really keeps my hope alive that we're all in this together, you know, because we are, whether or not, you know what I mean? Because the real thing that's on the line here is tattooing in general, you know, and they're now starting to tuck us away, and I'm starting to hear stuff about them tucking us away with, like, you know, bars and strip clubs and stuff like that. So they're starting to take us and tuck us away. Now, the health department wants their money right off the bat. You know what I mean? We are pirates. But the fact is,
real quick,
go ahead.
I'm not going to get political because I don't do that stuff. But
yeah.
there was Trump was on the news, and he's talking about who gets to go back first. I rewound it and recorded it, but he's like, I love tattoo shops. I love barber shops. I love those kind of people. And then he went back again and he said it again, but just the fact of the president saying, I love tattoo shops. I love those people.
I love those bikers for Trump.
Yeah, I'm like, what can I do with this? I'm like, I can't do nothing with that.
Totally. But the fact is, man, whatever side of the fence you are on or whatever, man, you know what I mean? Because we know that everybody's out there, you know, in whatever their belief systems is or whatever, man, that tattooing is really on the block as of right now and where it's going to be. And, you know, I'm not going to take it any farther than that because it starts to get political. So it's just, I'm going to keep doing it. Godfrey's going to keep doing it. JoJo Robert's going to keep doing it. Jeremy Korn's going to keep doing it. Sullen's going to be alive. And, well, Ryan's going to keep doing it. I'm sure Big Gus is going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of us that, tattooing will prevail. It will.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, we do kind of rule the world. And that, did you ever see that one? It was way back in the day, man, when Tommy Lee was in an interview and they said, hey, man, who do you look up to, man? And he goes, the only fucking people that a rock star looks up to is his fucking tattoo artist.
They're the only ones cooler than us.
Yep. You know what I mean? And dude, like, literally, I've talked, talking to Godfrey the other day, and you know what I mean? It's like, you know, fuck, dude, I love JoJo. He's so fucking punk rock. I love that shit. But
you're both right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. But tattooing will prevail, man. It will prevail. We will keep doing it, man. Doesn't matter how underground we go, but we will keep doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Greg James, bro, still using that 4-flat in the back piece. You know, but it will prevail without a doubt. You know,
I'm sure,
and I'm super happy about it.
Yeah, I'm sure people are starting to get antsy. You know, I mean, they're starting to open up shops in the Midwest and back east, right?
Yeah, man, and I think Hank just said that they're opening up on Monday in Amsterdam.
Robert wants to know what shirt I'm wearing.
Robert always wants to know what everybody's shirt's wearing.
What shirt is Jeremy wearing?
Dude, I'm not tattooing on. Thomas was like, I'm not tattooing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so don't knock.
Good.
That's great. But I'm super glad that we're having these conversations and that we're talking about tattooing, and that's really, you know what I mean, what it's all about is keeping the talk about tattooing. Because as long as we keep talking about tattooing, it is always going to live. As long as we keep talking about Lyle and Bill and Rick and, you know what I mean, and Zeke and Dawn and all the cats that, you know, that have gone on before us, nobody's ever going to die. You know what I mean? Like tattooing won't die. You can't kill it, dude. You know what I mean? You could shove it underground, but whatever.
And then you got to get yourself some sort of a spot so you can Joe Rogan it and have yourself a real podcast face to face, you know, where we both got the headphones on. And
yeah, dude, I don't know if that's, by the way, I'm wearing a Sullen shirt, bro, my favorite, dude. This one's been washed so many fucking times, I swear to God. But I don't know. I got a couple ideas.
I want you to run with it, man. I want you to run with it.
Yeah, I got a couple ideas, man. I got a couple ideas of what I'm going to do.
You're a talker, you know? There's quiet people and there's talkers. You can bullshit with the best of them.
Yeah, dude. And you know what thank you, bro. I appreciate that. But the thing that I really love is how much I'm learning that the shit that I didn't know, bro. You know? And even about some of the people that are closest to me, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know, because, you know, I haven't really had a whole lot of time, man. I was raising a family and trying to run a tat shop and, you know what I mean? So I wasn't out running around and you know, going to, you know, this convention or whatever, man, because of this and that or the other thing. But, you know, it's been really nice. And I really love the fact that I'm getting to learn. And at the same time, man, it's like, yeah, I might be the teacher at the class, man, but if I'm not listening to the students, I'm not going to learn anything as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, well,
there's so many cliche statements, you know, it's like we do.
Yeah.
You're wiser.
Fucking James, beach grease.
But at the same time, you realize that you're still being a sponge.
Well, one of my best conversations that I love to have is with James from Beach Grease, because I'm telling you, if you don't follow that dude, man, you really need to fucking follow him, because that guy is dude, he is such a solid dude, and he really has a lot of great stuff to say. And I'm going to have him on very shortly here, man, because you know, he's been also in the tattoo industry and in the clothing, you know, he built Us Versus Them from the ground up, man. You know what I mean? Then sold it and built Beach Grease breweries, man. You know what I mean? He's got some big things on the hook right now, dude. And the stuff that you
thanks again for supplying those Rick Walters beers.
Oh yeah.
Rick's benefits.
Oh, dude, cool. And you know what, man? Like I never even. I'm gonna try to get Greg James, Robert, dude. You know, dude, that's why I need to talk to you in the mornings. We need to FaceTime, bro. I need all your ideas.
Yeah, what's up, Robert?
Yeah, dude. He was hiking this morning, and he goes, "I'll call you back."
Hiking's for pussies,
dude. Whatever.
But he says back now.
Yeah, let's see what he says. But you know what I mean? Like literally, as far as like businessmen go, and I'm sorry, bro. But dude, if you don't follow James over at Beach Grease, man, you're doing yourself a disservice, because that guy's about as solid as he comes. He's got some great things to say. He's got a beautiful family. He loves to post about his family. He's all about tattoos. He's all about cars, trucks, bikes, boards, you name it, dude. That guy, I can't wait to get him on and tell his story. But anyways, back to the Sullen story. Let's get that, man. Let's I don't know, man, who's on or whatever, but where did the idea come from, man, for this whole thing? I mean, I know it, but
growing up in Southern California, you get inspired. You see all these. You can almost see the new clothing companies by looking at the stop signs and seeing what new stickers were on the stop signs and stuff. Right. And there's so many brands that were popping up around us that we were just kind of like, well, we can do that. I tell a lot of people, Black Flies were a big inspiration to us. Some of the guys that worked for Flies back in the days, they went to our high school, and we looked up to them, and right. They all hung with hotties and had good times, and then Ryan got his apprenticeship. He comes from an old school apprenticeship. Started tattooing, I think, in '96, and out in Arizona. So the first few years, I think he was like, I don't know if intimidated is the word, but he didn't know if using tattoo art, because it got brought up a couple times, but it happened organically. Because when we first started the brand, we had a skate team and a surf team and BMX. Right. We thought we were SoCal action sports, all that. Right. And at the same, but Ryan was tattooing all of us, Yeah. Like I remember hearing stories about like Thomas Pendleton tattooing all the Silver Star guys. Ryan was tattooing the whole crew, and we had a big party crew, big group of friends. We always just kind of already had a big group of people that supported us from the beginning. But it was like year 5 is when Ryan started sitting down and drawing with some tattooers, and it organically happened where right. Some of the first ones were Jay Langer and Tom Berg, and the very first shirt actually was Nico. So Nico and Carlos Torres and Tom Berg, and then it grew from 3 artists to 5 to 10 to now we've worked with over 400 400 tattooers all over the world. And then Ryan's always trying to think of ways to help tattooers or tattooing, trying to figure out ways to make life easier and stuff. So he thinks from a tattooer's perspective. And
oh yeah, I've already told him I'm going to buy the as soon as that new bag comes out, because man, I got my bag over here, dude, in the closet's my fucking travel bag that I love, man. I absolutely love it. You know what I mean? Dude, it's
dude, I got an old high school friend, Guy Combs, hopped up on here. Hell yeah, Guy Combs used to make it out to all of them. You remember?
Yeah, dude. And you know what, man? That as you were talking about that story and what have you, Robert said a couple of things, and so did James. And it was like work ethic. People have lost that, and they've.
I mean that we just we never gave up, because I remember people saying like, you guys are idiots, you're gonna go bankrupt, you're gonna another clothing company, and it's almost like starting a band, when you tell. Yeah. When you tell your girlfriend's dad or something like, we started a clothing company, it almost sounds cheesy saying it out loud. It's like, totally. We're at another clothing company.
Totally.
So there's no secret to success except just working your ass off, and then right. working more and working more and working harder.
Yeah.
And now we're coming up on 20 years of doing this.
But yeah, and then also, man, the fact is James said accountability, man. You know what I mean? You have to be accountable for exactly what it is you do and who the fuck you are.
You can build 15 years or take 15 years to build a reputation and lose it in 5 minutes.
Fuck yeah, man. You know what I mean? That's and it really, that was one of the things that kind of intimidated me about doing this podcast, is like, yeah, man, just, dude, just put it out there, man. And, and I felt early on and about the whole thing was about, just be humble and talk and listen.
But at the same time, you gotta, you kind of got to not care. You got to not care what other people say.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that. I finished that book for the second time, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Yeah. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. But I'm actually drinking water today, Robert, is what I'm drinking. So, because I try to do a day on, a day off, man. And, you know, it's like, oh, dude, you know, it's just, yeah, dude, White Claw, Robert? Nope, White Claws, man. No, dude. Hey, just to let you know, I can't even lift a White Claw with my weak wrist, right, Mike Godfrey? Right, dude? Dude, you got to listen to that. My weak wrist is just, yeah, dude. Hey, let's jump off for a second. We'll jump back on. Wow, that was crazy, dude, man, because wasn't even paying attention to the time, man, especially about the weak wrist and the White Claw thing. So I hope everybody jumps back on real quick. Chesto, Dependable Tattoo, what's up? Mike Nyman, what's up, dude? Mike Nyman's a dude that I went to high school with, and yeah, Pino, what's up? And friend, dude, what's up, guys? Godfrey Atkinson. Oh, dude, I love this. Yep, I know, Mike. I saw your pedal board. It's looking badass, bro. Super pumped. There's Uncle Jeremy. Okay, cool. So, what up, Pino? Say hi to everybody up there for me, all right, bro? Dude, yeah, I know, Godfrey. My fucking weak-ass wrist. Yeah. There you go. Dude, I wasn't even paying attention to the fucking clock, bro. I just went... Bleep.
Blame it on Robert, man. He keeps talking shit.
Dude, he's just... Yeah, you know what, though, man? That's the one thing that I love about Robert is Robert will fucking lay it down and... is your phone clean? It is now, dude.
One of the funniest motherfuckers. Him and JoJo together.
Dude.
They're two of my favorites. My wife was trying to make an appointment with JoJo right before all this shit happened.
Godfrey, you beat me to my comment about my weak wrist and White Claws. Oh, dude. Actually, man, it's not really water. It's fucking vodka. Dude, I'm just, you know what I mean? It's fucking vodka. You remember that shit? I watched Up and Smoke the other night. Where is Dee Dee?
Baby.
Tell her to get the fuck on here.
I think she's on here. I was going to ask her.
I know she's on here, but I know she's in the other room as well.
Hey, will you pour me a glass of Jesus juice?
She's what? Why is sad face, man? Why the sad face, Dee Dee?
Because of the JoJo tattoo.
Oh yeah, she was excited. You, JoJo, were two people she was supposed to get tattooed right before this happened. And I was gonna sit with Robert, and then of course you as well before all this bullshit coronavirus happened.
Yeah, well, where's Dee Dee? Have her sit next to you, bro. Is she out of the room?
Baby, come say hi. No, she's
yeah.
Her makeup.
Oh, okay, cool. But anyways, so God, I just love Dee Dee, man. She's such a, you know what I mean? You guys just compliment each other so well.
Are you gonna I ask you these questions because I have a podcast as well, so I always try to think of these things. But like, are you gonna have anything that's like every show you ask like a certain question, or like, you know, Letterman used to have like his top 10. Or is there
it's coming? Yeah, man, it's coming, man. Dude, just fucking, dude, just quit pushing the envelope, bro. Okay, so, dude.
I want to hear your thoughts, your ideas.
Tattooing, craziest fucking tattoo story you have. Let's hear it.
Craziest tattoo story I have.
And you've been to plenty of conventions. You've been hanging around tattooers. You've seen your fair share of shit. You know what I mean? Like, dude.
I mean, I remember at Ink and Iron, like, Roman tattooed my chest and he left the nipple open. And he's like, you know, sleep on it. See if you want to color in your nipple. And then at Ink and Iron, I got tattooed by Opie and I was all shitty and drinking. And then we ran into each other and he set up like 6 colors and tattooed my nipple in front of like 40 people. I was all wasted.
Oh, wow.
I got both of my nipples tattooed. That's no fun. I got my armpit tattooed. That's no fun. My armpit tattoo hurt so bad that I'm having a hard time getting my left one done.
Oh, yeah, I can
talked
imagine.
to Robert about doing it just because I know Robert's super fast. But, God, the armpit is such a rough spot to get tattooed. So, some people, they say that it don't hurt.
Yeah.
And I believe them. You know, everyone's got different spots. You know, it's like some people will say the hands and the elbows and the knees hurt. Some people, they don't.
Yeah. He's all not interested.
Yeah. I know. I remember asking, like, no disrespect, but I know you're fast.
Dude, I totally wanted, like, I remember asking him because I really wanted to get tattooed by him at this, you know, at this mark in my life, which would have been, there's a mark in my life that I wanted to kind of mark, and I wanted to do half of my head, dude, and in a dragon. And Robert was like, fuck that, do your whole head. Fuck it, dude. We got to do your whole head.
You should. No, I mean, you know, I mean, I don't regret any of my tattoos. You know, I don't have any laser, you know, like, I mean, I did black out some of my arm. That's a work in progress, but you know, sometimes the on the spot, you know, whether it's a drunk tattoo or on the whim or, you know, at a homie's house, and next thing you know, like.
Yeah, dude. I get it. You know,
those are my favorites.
Do your face fit in? Robert says, "Yeah, dude."
My favorite tattoo experience was getting tattooed by Jack Rudy. That was just the way it was supposed to be, and I really got a kick out of that night.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I would probably. I have to say that one of my top, getting tattooed by JoJo has to be in my top 3, dude. I mean, it was so, and it fucking hurt so bad, man. I mean, I was like, right, you know what I mean? Dude, it's right fucking there. You know what I mean? I had this hole, and I felt bad making him fucking do it at that hole, but. Dude, we had the best fucking goddamn conversation and just had the best time. And Robert was there tattooing, and it was just, dude, it was the best, man. And I was just all like, oh, fuck, this place is fucking cooler than I thought. It's like fucking Oz here. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
Robert says, you weren't even being that cool that day.
Dude, I was in a lot of pain though, dude.
Look at this. I got my Rudy girl right here.
Yeah, dude.
And I remember Jack, I took off my shirt and he's like, really, Holmes? That's the piece of real estate that you gave me? You know, it's just like kind of a weird spot. But my appointment was at 9 p.m. and he showed up at about 11:30.
Typical Jack.
Yeah, but I got to hang out with the boys, and I think he got started probably like around 1 and tattooed me till like, I don't know, 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great experience.
Yeah. You know, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love about tattooing is how many great experiences that we get to have. And, you know, even Mike Godfrey said the other day, he's all like, you know, I asked him, I'm like, hey, man, you know what I mean? What was your favorite thing that you ever did? You know what I mean? Or whatever. And he's like, oh, dude, my whole life or whatever. You know, it's like we get the opportunity to live the rock star lifestyle without actually being the rock star. You know, people don't mob us. We can go into Ralph's and buy a 6-pack of beer.
Well, I used to see that, you know, it's like when Ryan was tattooing, dude, the girls, you know, the hookups, the VIP love. So I think that's why, you know, Ryan tattooing, being my business partner, my best friend, I kind of been engulfed in the culture for the last 25 years. And I learned the do's and the don'ts and the I don't know, the linguistics of it. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
But I tell people, it's like even bad tattooers are like the freaking Fonzie of their neighborhood. You know, they're still cool.
Without a doubt, you know. But, you know, there's also, and Robert said this just a couple minutes ago, the bad side of it. You know what I mean? The bad side of it is, man, it's it's cost a lot of fucking tattooers their families or their fucking, you know what I mean? Like, dude, you know, I've seen some guys, and I'm not going to mention any names this year, that have just gone through fucking hell and back and then just stood up like the fucking gangster motherfucker and like, all, yeah, try to take me down, you know? And I think that that's really where we should be at this point, is that, like, yeah, dude, try to take me down. I get the fact that this is this whole thing is an issue, but don't, you know, I hope that anybody who is who loves tattooing the way that we love tattooing will never fucking stop and never give it up. You know what I mean? Never give it up. You know, that's all. That's how I hope, man. Because as long as this shit stays alive, man, we're gonna be, you know, we're gonna be having fun kicking ass and taking names, man. You know what I mean? So, man, what? Let's just say this. So, what have you been doing with your time? I know you've been at Sullen, but you know what I mean? Like, what have you been doing for enjoyable times? I mean, obviously, Robert has been hiking through the mountains and picking flowers, like he said. But what have you been up to?
I worked from home for the first couple of weeks. You know, my wife has lupus, so she's high risk. And you know, when the word of the month or of the 2 months is uncertainty. You know, no one has any answers. So
I know.
Her having lupus, we were spooked, and I worked from home for a couple of weeks, and I enjoyed it. You know, I worked from my back patio, and what, baby? And
is that her? She here?
I'll say hi now.
Dude, this is his better half, Dee Dee. Hi, Dee Dee. How are you, sweetie? She's rocking the Sullen right now. How are you? Dude, I love your hair.
Thanks.
Turn your volume down.
Oh, whoops.
Oop, she got her. And like, seriously, I can't wait to tattoo her.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
But I enjoyed it. I told Dee Dee, I was like, I could do this. I could work from home. But then at the same time, once I got back to work, I was like, okay, no, I need to be at the office. I get so much more done. Yeah. You know, like for people that work at home, like it's nice to just be able to like stand up and go shower. Right. You know, or one of the best investments I made recently, I bought one of those infrared indoor saunas, you know?
Ooh.
Which, dude, you should get one. They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to them.
Really?
But I was enjoying it. I was enjoying being home with my family and having time. And like I said, I'm trying to look at the positive and trying to figure out, you know, maybe Mother Nature or God or all the above was just like, listen, Earth, you guys all need to shut up, calm down, spend some time with your family, and get reminded of what's important in life.
Yeah.
You know, but then I got back to work, and like I said, our numbers are better than we thought. We were super scared at first, but we're hanging in there and doing well. And so,
well, you know, that's one of the things, man, that if who's ever watching, or whoever sees this who's not on today, you know what I mean? Support your local artists, man. Support artistry. Buy from tattoo brand. Support, dude. You see Lefty's Barbershop, man. Don't forget your barbers are out there and the ones that make you look all pretty, man. For everybody, don't forget your barbers, man.
I know, man. I need a haircut.
Dude,
how you cut your hair? You doing a Wayne's World?
Dude, no, man.
Wait,
fucking party. Yeah, just fucking slicking it all back, dude.
Hey, that's another thing I meant to ask you. Like, when I hopped on the first time, I was waiting for you to be like, Wynn's World. Because that's your podcast. It's called Wynn's World, right?
Dude.
Come on, do it.
Dude, I almost did it with an acoustic guitar today and just did a really mellow version. Wynn's World. Yeah, but hey, dude, shh. I gotta keep it. It's got to be acoustic, first of all, man, and I've got to change it fucking at least 25% or I'll get sued.
Oh yeah. Wynn's World, baby. Wynn's World.
Party
time. Excellent.
Yeah, dude. That's what it was actually going to be. Wynn's World podcast. Hell yeah.
No, just Wynn's World's great, but then when you remind them that it's, you know, you're having fun with Wayne's World, and when you told me that Wynn's World party time, excellent. I was like, yes,
dude. Have you seen the T-shirts? The T-shirts are fucking, dude. They're so close, dude.
Yeah,
totally.
And then you got to find your Garth.
Oh yeah. Well, man, my Garth's in the other room, man. She's chilling, but and really, man, just supports like Dee Dee supports you, man. You know what I mean? That support, man, is unprecedented. Yeah, man, dude. You know, and
I
it's
wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah.
Today, if it wasn't for my wife.
Yeah, and one of the things, man, they say behind every great man, there's an even greater woman. You know, and there is some truth to that, man, because since I got a divorce, man, you know what I mean, and really got into doing what I'm doing now, man, dude, life has never been better, man. And my kids thriving, you know what I mean, and everything's fine, and it is what it is, and man, I mean, I hate to say it, I do get fucking stir crazy, man. I do get stir crazy. And I think that's one of the things, and we've talked about it. I talked about it with Robert, and I talked about it with JoJo a bit about, and Mike as well, about the fact that, I think, if we were all getting a fat paycheck every, week, we could just hang out and chat with the bros. It would be fine. But it's that camaraderie that goes on, man, at the Tat Shack. That's, dude, you've seen his workouts, bro. He's got an amazing fucking gym, dude. And he's always he's like, oh, hey man, you should just come out of the gym and just work out, man. I'm like, oh, what time do you work out? He's like, oh, 6 p.m.
I was supposed to have a conversation here.
Dude, he doesn't want us to have a conversation, dude. You know what I mean? Dude. I love that fucking guy.
Yes, Robert. I'm finally in the gym, man. Give me a break.
Dude, yeah. And
let me tell you something, though. So check this out. Supposedly, on May 15th, Yosemite is back open, and we got spots the 16th. So check it out. I mean, have you been to Yosemite before?
Yeah, dude. I love that place.
I went for the first time 2 years ago.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like, how in the world have I never been here? It's a 5-hour drive.
Right.
The place is majestic. Well, imagine all the animals that have taken over Yosemite right now. It opens up the 15th. We arrive on the 16th for 4 days with my family and some friends, my sister, my cousin.
Wow.
Dude, there's going to be so many animals.
It's
crazy.
Robert's all like, we're ready. We want to go.
Come join, dude. You get those heated tents. Robert, those heated tents are available. And they're not expensive. It's like $80 a night. How much was it, baby? They're not even that bad. They're nice heated. They're like tents on steroids. It's on like a wood platform. There's heaters. You got like 4 twin beds. You got your metal locker to put your food in so the bears don't get in it. You wake up in the morning to have your coffee. There's a deer just right there. This deer is just walking around. No big deal.
Dude, Robert, you got a fucking tent trailer, bro. He's got a fucking trailer. Dude, it's rad. It just pops out, man. It's fucking dope.
Let's talk about Robert's engravings, man. Dude, that
guy. Oh, dude. Let's talk about that. Let's just talk. Okay, since they're going to try to interrupt us, let's talk about them. JoJo crushing paintings. I'm like, oh, dude, what the dude? I've called him for so much painting advice, man. You know what I mean?
Have you seen JoJo's art collection himself?
No. I can imagine. And then on top of it, the engravings that Robert's doing. So when I went to get this tattoo, he was like, oh yeah, I'm just starting out. I just did this little knife, dude. You know what I mean? And he hands me the knife and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, it's fucking flawless. I mean, fucking flawless. And he goes, yeah, it's not very good. I'm just getting started. I'm like, oh, you're fucking dude. And then every time that he posts one, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Like, Godfrey sends me some pictures of his convention banner that he did for Salt Lake that's done in fucking oils. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm just gonna bust out. You know what I mean? He's just getting ready to do some stuff for Kevin over at Second Floor and stuff. And he's just, oh, dude, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, it.
Robert says, settle down, move on.
Dude, Robert has the worst time taking a compliment because he's such a badass, dude. But
he's been in the gym lately too. Every time I see him, he'll flex on me. He'll be like, feel my chest. It's like, feel this.
Yeah, totally, dude. He's all dead, dude. Oh, and there's FIP, man, and that was dude. Let me just tell you about FIP was a great podcast, and I'm actually I haven't really, I don't even know if I told FIP this, but I'm actually going to come to San Diego and do a real podcast with him. I want to do a real one face to face as soon as this thing is over, and because, dude, that guy has got so much history. Oh, dude, where's my dude? So I'm such a geek. So he's been posting all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so broke right now. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, there's a fucking Greg Irons set of Flash, and like, oh my God, dude, there's what's this? I finally got 3 sheets. They're copies of the original Flash, from the original Flash, but they were actually copies that were hand painted for the walls by FIP. So I have copies of the original Flash from Greg Irons that was hand colored by FIP. And I'm just like, dude, I'm so...
But you had him on?
Huh? Yeah, he was... Yeah, I had FIP on... I think he was my second.
You got to get these up on your YouTube channel.
Well,
man.
that's, you know, that was one of the reasons, is that I couldn't record the one with FIP. I didn't have the capabilities.
I'm gonna let your followers know. When you told me you're doing this, I was like, all right, it's cool to go live, but now you need to archive them on YouTube, because when you go live, they disappear in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Conversations. Yeah. Like with FIP. You know, like, these things need to be archived forever.
I think I've got about 3/4 of the one with FIP.
Let me ask you this: Have you been saving all these?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Okay, so
yeah.
You have all of them saved. You know how to do that?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I just today figured out So in this whole thing, man, you have to first, you got to have it's got to be good quality. You have to have it down to an MP3. You have to be able to move it up into an MP3 format to do this, and you know what I mean, get it all out. So I've been mixing and cutting and clipping, keeping them pretty standard, because I don't, like, I want the crazy silence and inflections. I don't want it to just be
Yeah, but something is better than nothing.
Right.
You still need to, whether you're using your phone to video record, you know, like the the screensaver video recording or whatever.
Totally.
You gotta make sure you archive these.
I have.
Robert says you're lying.
Yeah. Well, I've got a few of them on audio. I got audio stuff of them, and I got a little bit of, I think, Mike's. I think I filmed it on the iPad as I was trying to get the thing. But I've been looking at some GoPros so that I can have a GoPro that's sitting here filming as it goes. So it's just...
because you don't even need to go live on Instagram. You can just figure out a way to do it to where it's not a vertical recording, you know, and you have both of you on there, right? Even if you're not in the same room.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
these things need to get thrown up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to this film guy, man, about how to. He goes, if I have the format, man, I can probably split them and put them side by side. And I was like, wow, that's cool.
You'll get there.
Yeah, man, I'm just.
And I'm going to keep talking shit until you get it right.
I know.
Stay on you.
Yeah, dude, I hope so, dude. I really do hope so. And you know what? And I got to thank everybody, man, who has been, you know, dude, like Vic, man. I was like, oh, hey, man. So I need. Victor is like this cat. The Jeremy turned me on to, and he's really into tattoos, and he's into film and all this other stuff, man. And I was like, oh. So, dude, man, what's up, man? What I need somebody to consult with or whatever, you know? And he's all like, hey, man, just tattoo me. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, just tattoo it. Just tattoo me. When we get a chance, just tattoo me. And I was like, sick. So everybody's been really pitching in, man. And, you know, like I called JoJo and I'm like, oh, you know, what could be better about it? Or, you know what I mean? And JoJo is one of the most honest people that I know. So I know that, you know what I mean? Like what I'm getting from him. That's why I said, man, I couldn't do this without you guys. You know what I mean? Like, dude, these first videos, man, and these first live videos this is the platform for launching it. You know what I mean? Like this is just, it's where it's at. You know what I mean? And
yes.
and I
told you, do it.
I know. I'm doing
better
it.
Than nothing. And
I'm
you'll
doing
get
it.
better and better at it.
Hey, man, and you know what, man? The fact is that like I have this love of tattooing. That I just can't. I don't know, man. I just can't feed it enough. You know, it's like, you know, as much as I hate Instagram, I love waking up to a brand new tattoo magazine every morning. You know what I mean? And you know, as much as I hate how saturated it is, man, I'm still very thankful, man, that they're lining up at the doors. You know, and so there's a lot of pros and cons with it, but it's just, you know, I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. I need more booze. And yeah, I need more booze. And Robert wants us to take a commercial break. Did you see that? He's like, oh, can we get a commercial break? I need to step outside, you know.
Godfrey says try working with him 12 years straight.
Dude, I'm sure, bro. I'm fucking telling you. But anyways, but we're doing it, man. You know what I mean? We're doing it. And and that's the thing is that, you know what I mean? I love doing this, man, and I thank you for pushing me into it. I thank JoJo and Robert and Godfrey and Phip and Jason Salinas, which is, you know, it's my first one with that I did was I went live with Jason Salinas. Now, Jason was one of the first people that I worked with in San Diego when I went to work for Kinsey Bolson, and we didn't have shit, man. You know, we were talking about you know, it was, I couldn't believe the stories that we had, man, you know, because when we walked in there, man, we weren't allowed to have a copy machine. We weren't allowed to have a thermofax. If you couldn't fucking redraw that thing the size that it needed to be, then you shouldn't be there, you know, that kind of shit. So it's really taken me back to a place that has made me love tattooing the way I did when I was young, you know, and I'm just so thankful for everybody who's come through and helped me out through this and pushed me into it. And dude, you know, I love you more than fucking anything, bro, man. And I will support you till the day.
You're good people, Chris.
Dude, right back at you, man. And I know, man, we've been on for a fucking hour and a half. So, a place like that no longer exists. Yes, it does. It's called 10,000 Waves. It does.
Thanks for tuning in, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Robert, JoJo.
Joseph, Michelle.
Dude, everybody, man, thank you for tuning in. Thank you.
Thomas Pendleton.
Yeah, man, anybody. And hey, please, by the way, man, I got to introduce you to Dave Warshaw. Dude, he really wants to meet you. Dude, Dave works for Phip, and he's an amazing dude. Amazing dude. He's got, yeah, and if you need a fireplace, dude, that guy's got some sick fireplaces. Just saying. But anyways.
Please do.
All right.
Our reception is starting to get bad, so let's cut it before it gets weird again.
Yeah, anyways, man, peace and love, dude. I'll call you tomorrow, man. We'll chat a little bit, man. Thank you, everybody, for enjoying what we do. If you enjoy it, if not, man, you know, repost, do whatever. JoJo, thank you for all your love and your support, bro, man, for tattooing and everything. Robert, Mike, man, you guys have a great evening. Phip, man, you are my hero, dude, without a doubt. And
Chris, end it with a theme song.
Winn's World, excellent party town, hell yeah.
You totally got it wrong, but next time we hop on here, you'll have it right.
Dude, this water is way too strong. Anyways, everybody, dude, peace and love, man. I had to change it 25%, dude, or I get sued. Peace and love, dude. I'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you, everybody. Love you, everybody.
Let's do it again soon, man. Have a good night.
For sure, man. Night, Dee Dee. Bye.
Good night.
Later.
Later.